Welcome to Advice of Anonymous. Please subscribe, and click on the notification bell icon to receive constant updates on our new video content. Great. Why do humans lie? You can often spot a liar by paying attention to their facial expressions, body language, conversational style, and use of grammar when speaking. Lying is a part of human nature, and has existed since language existed, and the idea of deception goes back even further. We have all lied and been lied to. The reason lying is so prevalent is that sometimes it is the easiest way out. Going back to evolution and survival, we humans have lied to get resources to survive and mate. It is much easier to deceive than to engage in physical conflict. Even in the animal kingdom, camouflage is a form of deception used by thousands of species. Much research has been done on liars and how we can recognize them to protect ourselves from being deceived. Let us now take a deeper look at the underlying causes, rather than the superficial reasons we all know. Why do children lie? Lying is developmentally normal for children of all ages, even if a child lies frequently. Lying allows children to test the boundaries between fantasy and reality, protect themselves from the consequences of their actions, and to better understand how other people think. Lying may even be a sign that a child is hitting appropriate developmental milestones. However, some lies may also indicate a deeper problem, such as a mental disorder or a tendency to manipulate others. Children lie for a variety of developmentally typical reasons. These include developing a theory of mind. Theory of mind is the ability to guess what another person is thinking or feeling and to understand that other people's beliefs and feelings are different from one's own. The development of the theory of mind usually begins at the age of 3, a time when children are also more likely to lie. One study even found that the formation of a theory of mind in children can lead them to lie. A developing sense of morality. Children are more likely to lie when their sense of right and wrong is sharpened. This is because they're better able to predict what behaviors might get them into trouble. To avoid punishment. Children who fear punishment may lie to avoid punishment. For this reason, extreme punishments, even for lying, may actually encourage lying. Experimentation and creativity. When children gain the ability to lie, they may lie to test their new skills. To build self-esteem. Children may lie to peers to gain their respect and affection, or they may lie to their parents because they need love and attention. Unawareness. Sometimes what parents think is a lie is actually a child not remembering something correctly. Very young children may not understand the difference between a lie and the truth or know that adults don't want them to lie. Children may also lie for reasons that indicate an underlying mental health problem. These include trauma and abuse. Abused or traumatized children may lie to cover up the abuse, lie about their experiences or be afraid to tell adults the truth. Anxiety. Children with anxiety diagnoses may lie because they're afraid of the consequences if they tell the truth. Low self-esteem. Some children lie because they fear they'll not be liked if they're told the truth. Personality disorders. Very rarely, children with a personality disorder such as borderline personality or antisocial personality may lie as part of their diagnosis. A variety of other mental health diagnoses can cause children to lie. For example, a bipolar child may engage in behavior that he or she regrets during a manic episode and then lie about that behavior. Why do adults lie? We lie mainly to protect ourselves or to promote ourselves. We can protect ourselves from wrongdoing or wrong action by covering it up with a lie to avoid the consequences. We also lie to keep ourselves away from situations or people we do not want to be associated with. Remember that time you broke your mother's favorite piece of furniture and blamed it on your sibling to avoid her wrath? We have all been there. When it comes to promoting yourself, it may be to gain a financial or personal advantage, to make a good impression at a date or job interview, or just for fun, so we lie. Other factors include altruistic activities such as white lies, malicious intentions, and certain unknown motives that even the liar may not be aware of. What does our brain say about lying? 3 important parts of our brain are stimulated when we lie. First, the frontal lobe, of the neocortex, has the ability to suppress the truth. Indeed, it's capable of dishonesty because of its intellectual function. Second is the limbic system because of the fear, which is the amygdala that comes with deception, and yes, when we're lied to, our Spider-Man sense can kick in this area, just as we can feel guilty or stressed when we lie. And thirdly, the temporal lobe is involved because it's responsible for recalling memories and creating mental images. For fun, let's add the anterior cingulate cortex because it helps with error control, and the dorsal lateral prefrontal cortex because it's trying to control our behavior all the time. And it's much calmer when we tell the truth, because our limbic system isn't stressed when we lie, and our frontal lobe doesn't inhibit the truth. Joshua Green from Harvard University examined the brains of the subjects using fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging, and found increased activity in the nucleus accumbens, which is responsible for reward processing. The more this region is aroused, at the prospect of money, the more likely a person is to cheat and lie. Greed can thus tempt people to lie. Another research study from the University of London suggests that smaller acts of deception can lead to bigger acts. Chronic lying blunts the response of the amygdala, which is responsible for emotions, resulting in small lies easily becoming bigger lies with less guilt. How to recognize liars in verbal communication. The detection of lies is an inexact science, but there are common characteristics that we can observe in liars at a general level. Facial expression and body language. Increased pupil size due to higher concentration is a good clue. Truth is always relaxed, but lying requires more concentration, and attention to spin a yarn that will not be questioned. As a rule, liars or amateur liars are more nervous, with a high-pitched voice and compressed lips. However, when the stakes are high, the liar adopts a very relaxed posture, similar to a truth-teller, because he does not want to be caught. This includes a relaxed posture, less fidgeting, and a calm voice to pretend that he is really telling the truth. However, these people are unusually quiet and make less or too much eye contact with the listener. System for coding facial actions. Paul Ekman in 1978 developed a facial action coding system, FACS, that can detect micro-expressions lasting less than 1/2 a second to 4 seconds, but which can provide important information about hidden emotions such as fear, anger, sadness, disgust, contentment, joy, surprise and guilt of even very good liars. The facial action coding system is a comprehensive, anatomically based system for describing all visually discernible facial movements. It breaks down facial expressions into individual components of muscle movement, called action units, ALS. Conversational style and language. Liars usually need more time to answer questions, because they need time to invent a story that seems to be true. However, if given time beforehand, they usually answer quickly and speak less. The conversational style is usually negative, rather complaining, and less cooperative. Liars seem to withhold information, either out of guilt or fear of being caught. Pinocchio effect. The stories told by liars are usually ambivalent, and less logical. They use fewer hand gestures, and are more likely to repeat words and phrases to avoid adding more plot to their full story. These repetitions then go on to add more, and more words when the listener has doubts. This is known as the Pinocchio effect, where the number of words grows with the lie, just like Pinocchio's nose. How to recognize liars in written communication. Since the invention of email, most business deals start with offers sent by email. It is very important for business people to guard against empty promises made by email. We can recognize a liar by word choice and grammar. Fewer first-person pronouns. Liars avoid taking responsibility and do not use first-person pronouns like I or we to distance themselves from the story they're telling. More negative words. Liars are usually guilty of their actions and therefore their texts contain more blame, hate, and sad words. Less exclusionary words. Words like except, but, or, yet, that distinguish what they did from what they did not do, will be suspiciously few. Lying can sometimes not be a bad thing, such as agreeing that the bride's dress looks beautiful when in fact it is ugly. Given this hard truth, it is important to know how to recognize when someone is lying in order to save yourself from a potentially dangerous situation. The impersonator. Lying for personal gain. Frank Abagnale Jr. is now a highly respected security consultant, but his brazen scams at a young age inspired the 2002 film Catch Me If You Can. Leonardo DiCaprio played Abagnale, who ran away from home at 16, and learned to survive on his wits by becoming a check forger, con man and con artist. Abagnale posed as a pilot, a pediatrician, and a lawyer with a Harvard degree. In a group study, we found that both men and women lie in about 1/5 of their social contacts that last 10 minutes or more. And over the course of a week, we deceive about 30% of the people we interact with one-to-one. Women tend to lie more altruistically, so as not to hurt others' feelings, while men tend to lie more about themselves. De Paulo found that men are more likely to lie to impress. A typical conversation between two men contains about 8 times as many self-centered lies as lies about others. Lying at work. Where do people lie most often? At work, or more precisely, to avoid work. The most common lies include illness, 84%, family emergencies, 65%, doctor's appointments, 60%, or lying about the death of a family member, 31%. On average, a person used 7 different excuses to avoid work. Only 27% of respondents who have lied to avoid work regret it, and 41% of respondents would lie again. 91% of people who make up excuses to leave the office have never been caught. Honesty may be the best policy, but scheming and dishonesty are part of what makes us human. In concluding our examination of why humans lie, it's clear that deception is a complex and multi-layered aspect of human behavior. While lying can have negative consequences, it can also serve important social functions and be a necessary part of daily life. Understanding the motives and mechanisms behind lying can help us navigate our own relationships and interactions, and ultimately lead to more honest and authentic relationships with those around us. So the next time you're faced with the decision to lie, or tell the truth, remember the insights we have gained today, and make the decision that feels right for you.